matter what type of outreach you do in order to try to get clients, you're going to want to have a personal brand where clients can go to learn more about you if you want to actually start making serious money with copywriting. And in this video, I'm going to pull back the curtain and show you exactly step by step how you can build your personal portfolio and personal brand so that you can start getting clients as soon as possible and even start getting clients coming and outreaching to you. And look, I have multiple examples of that happening to not only me, but my students on multiple different bases. So I'm going to show you that in this video, but I'm also going to give you my proven step-by-step profile creation technique that you can essentially just follow so that you can speed run your personal brand and get up and running outreaching on Instagram as soon as possible as a copywriter. Because the fact of the matter is your outreach does not matter if your profile sucks. It doesn't matter how good it is what you're saying or how good of value you provide to people. If they go and look at your personal brand or look for you on the internet and they see no trace of you, they're going to essentially assume you are a scammer. And that's if you have no profile. If you have a bad profile, then imagine the equality that you're going to make for them on their deliverables. Bad profile means you're probably going to create bad copy and bad marketing assets for your clients. Doesn't matter if it's Instagram, cold email, Facebook, all roads lead back to the same place, and that is essentially your Instagram, aka your digital storefront. Business owners are essentially window shopping. They want to see your results, your testimonials, your content, your personality. If it looks cheap, they will bounce, but if it looks premium, they'll buy. You can even get inbound leads and essentially close clients while you sleep. Let me show you a few instances of that. For example, we have one of my old students who's actually made over $18,000 per month with copywriting. His interview is on this very channel. He says, dude, this is strange. I'm getting actual clients reaching out to me when it's usually the other way around. I've gotten like 6 inquiries yesterday and today for other businesses who want to work with him because they found his copywriting profile on Instagram. And they're like, wow, I actually want to work with this guy. Next, someone else who says, but another client closed, he's chill, and we're doing bulk Facebook posts in as many private groups, $75 per post, plus commission for every lead I generate. So that's probably going to be $100 or more just for a 300 to 500 word Facebook post, which is basically an email, if not a little bit longer. And it was an inbound lead too. Build your personal brands, guys, and be yourselves. And of course, that's what I'm going to show you how to do in this video. And yet another example, someone outreaching to a guy saying, do you do email copywriting? He says, yeah, I do. How does it work to use your services? Someone else asks. He says, as in what software I use? He says, no, I mean how to work with you. So he was essentially getting an inbound lead and he had no idea that it was an inbound lead. So he was just talking to them all casual. And he was like, no, actually, how do I work with you? And then another one, all I did was send an opener. I didn't pitch him. I didn't say anything. I just said, hey, I wanted to reach out to show my appreciation for the content. And then he hits me back saying, thanks, man. How much do you charge to make some email copy sequences? This guy needed like 60 emails and a whole bunch of sequences. I mean, this was a huge deal right here that essentially just walked right into my inbox. There was no, oh, I had to give him free value. I had to make all this other stuff and whoop-de-whoop. It was literally just, hey man, how's it going? Hey, how can I buy from you? Because why? He looked at my profile, he liked what he saw, and he essentially outreached to me. And this can happen to you too if you build your profile exactly like I'm gonna show you in this video. And in case you're still fuzzy on exactly what this looks like, let me show you this demonstration on screen. Example number 1, business owner sees your outreach. They look at your profile and it is an ugly profile. You have Joe Scales, so you're just copying my Instagram username, which is very common. And then you don't have really a good profile picture. You can't really see your face. And then you just have one ugly picture of a tree. And then you're going to get ignored. That business owner is going to ignore you. But on the other hand, if they see your outreach and then they see that you have results, you have reels, you have advice, you have high value posts, you have authority, and a whole bunch of other things on your profile, and actually looks filled out, and there's a good picture of your face, profile actually shows what you do, and you have a great profile, then they're actually going to respond. You don't even have to ask them to go look at your profile. They're going to look at your profile regardless, just before they even answer your message. So you could be doing everything right with your outreach, but if your profile is crap, then none of it even matters. And people ask me all the time, Tyson, should I create a website and or a personal brand on Instagram? And the answer is a personal brand on Instagram is always going to do way better. Nobody wants to look at your website. Websites cost money to create. They take a whole bunch of time to create. They're probably going to look like crap because you are not a website designer, especially if you're a beginner copywriter. So just do it on Instagram. You don't even have to ask people, and they're going to check out your Instagram if you DM them. But on the other hand, sending someone your website that they didn't care to look at and expecting them to click on a random link, link and actually go and search for it, it's just not likely. It's not going to happen. I talk about this from experience. I tell all my students, don't even worry about a website, just build your profile, because this is exactly what I did. I personally wasted weeks on building a stupid website that nobody even ended up checking out. So don't do this. Instead, what you want to do is create your own personal brand on Instagram and also a portfolio so that when they ask for your portfolio and to see some of your work, then you can send it over. Another quick piece of advice, even if you're doing cold email, for example, where people aren't going to see your Instagram or know your Instagram handle, you can just put your Instagram handle at the very bottom, not as a link, but simply at Tyson.scales. Here's where you can find out more about me. This way, if they look at your message and they just want to know a little bit more about who you are before they take the chance on responding, they can go and do a quick little Instagram search, find you, and then decide if they want to reply or not. This is an extremely easy way to increase the possibility that people are going to not only answer you on email, but want to work with you through email outreach. Now, I want to cover what the goal of even having a personal profile is on Instagram. And it's not what most people think. So many people get this wrong. And it's because of this. Most copywriters don't actually have a personal brand on Instagram. They essentially create an Instagram that is a billboard just begging for clients. And you look silly, you look desperate, and you look dumb. So, for example, no call to actions, not in your bio and not on your posts. The reason why is because if they're inspired enough at your profile, they're already going to DM you. You don't need to say, DM me the word money if you want to work with me, because this just looks so desperate. And you might see big profiles doing this, but that's because they already have tons and tons of other followers. You, who's just starting out, who doesn't already have tons of business owners following them, you don't need to say, DM me this word or comment this word to work with me, because this is not going to happen. If they're going to outreach to you, which has happened to me and has happened to my students, like I told you, they're already going to do that. But you telling them to DM you is an instant turnoff because it just looks desperate. Next is that you want to build trust by showing a little bit of your personal life. And this really perplexes people because they have no idea as to why your personal life is important as being hired as a copywriter. And it's simple. People hire humans and not resumes. So for example, if you and a client have something in common, like you both love going to Japan, for example, then that could just be the small thing that pushes them over the edge to actually want to reach out to you or answer your DM. Not to mention, it also gives you guys something to talk about, and you just building a personal relationship with your client on top of a business and transactional one is going to help you in the long run because they're going to want to see you succeed. So they're going to be able to give you more responsibility, to trust you more, to give you testimonials, to give you referrals down the line as well. Next is that you want to show that you're actually somewhat successful and a high value person. Now, when I say this, people think that I mean you should be like flexing or like renting something or trying to put on some jewelry. Dude, it is literally free to look like you are a high value person. That doesn't mean that you are rich. I'll give you an example. You just at a random dealership, like a McLaren dealership, and standing next to a McLaren, saying, one day I'm going to own a supercar. Now, this is just essentially putting you next to something that is extremely expensive, even though you're saying in the caption, it's not yours. Because when people just see two things together, they associate them. This is what a brand essentially is about. So some more examples, you doing golfing, for example. How much does it cost to go and hit a round of golf? But what is rich people's favorite sport in the world? It's golf. So you just putting on pictures of you golfing is something that's instantly going to subconsciously increase people's perceived value of you. And lastly, understand it is not all about your accolades. People think that for some reason, oh, well, if I'm able to just shout my accomplishments at people, they're going to want to work with me. In fact, the opposite is often true. People want to work with young, hungry, determined entrepreneurs. Even though they're just starting out, they are absolutely rabid when it comes to taking action. And they will also work for cheap. Not to mention they're actually moldable instead of other people who are usually just set in their old ways. They think that they know everything because, oh, well, I have all these accolades and I have these accomplishments. There are real advantages to you being a beginner copywriter. Even if you're fully transparent with people and saying, yeah, well, I haven't had any real work with clients before, but that's exactly why I'm looking to hit it out of the park with somebody like you so I can get results, prove that I know what I'm doing, and also just get experience so that I can become essentially a marketing weapon. So here are some of the biggest sins that people commit when they are trying to build their Instagram profiles. Now, as a side note, I actually have a couple of episodes on my own Instagram of me literally just roasting people's Instagrams. People just comment the word IG, and then I go to their Instagram profile, I absolutely roast it, I review it, I show them where they could do better, and then I post it on my Instagram. And if you'd like, you can go and check those out, but there are perfect examples as to what I'm talking about when people are just lazy, they don't actually try, and they don't build their profiles correctly. For example, probably the absolute biggest mistake that I always see on copywriters' profiles is simply just creating content for copywriters instead of creating content for business owners. So an example of this is, here's how copywriting can grow your business. Business owners don't care about copywriting. Or here is this awesome email structure I learned called PAS. Business owners don't care about PAS. Do you want to know what business owners actually care about? Business owners care about money. They care about growing their business. They care about making their funnel the best it can be so that they can scale to new levels with revenue. They don't care about your email copywriting structure. So if you have some sort of like copywriting structure or something on your Instagram right now, do yourself a huge favor, scrub it off your profile and just don't have it because it's garbage. Not to mention these awful looking just like theme paged style posts where it's just like text and then you scroll and it's a carousel and it's another bunch of text and you scroll, it's another bunch of, just don't even try, okay? I'm gonna show you exactly how to do it right, but this is the wrong way to do it. So I'm calling out all of you guys that have an Instagram account, but you just half-assed it, please go back and just delete it. And of course, probably the biggest sin or the biggest thing that I actually see is just copying other people's stuff. Like I was roasting someone's Instagram the other day and I noticed they have a tweet on their Instagram that is the exact same copy and paste from what I already created. And it just blows my mind how people just don't care enough. You would be absolutely out of your mind to hire a copywriter who just copies other people's stuff. You would not want to work with them. In short, if your profile screams copy boosts sales, you've already lost. Business owners usually already know the power of copywriting. It's not about convincing them copywriting works. It's about showing them that you are the right person for the job. So how do you build an Instagram that doesn't make clients' eyes bleed? Well, I'm going to show you step by step right now. Number one is having a clear bio that shows exactly who you help and how you help them. Now, I recommend avoiding saying anything about copywriter in your name or in your bio. And the reason why is because copywriters are seen as sort of low value right now because of huge courses who've been pushing copywriting like crazy as this get rich quick scheme. So then people think that they can get 10K per month in like 25 days. And of course, when that doesn't happen, they give up. But in those 25 days that they do try copywriting, they're spamming to businesses the exact same outreach template. So you don't want to get lumped in with them. So I'll give you an example. I'm not a copywriter. I'm a conversion specialist who also uses copywriting. Now, this, sure, it means the exact same thing, but essentially you are going one level deeper in describing what you are, and you're also differentiating yourself from everybody else. Next, of course, you're always going to want a clear profile picture, something of your actual face. I see so many people, and I don't know why. I have no idea why. They create these bathroom mirror selfies, and they got like bubble gum and snot bubbles and everything, and whatever. I don't even know. Just random substances all over the mirror, and it's blurry, and you can't even see it. And then that's just what their whole feed is, just selfies. So please explain to me how posting all these selfies are somehow going to get you clients. I could never understand. So here are the types of posts you're going to want to use. And then of course, I'll give you some examples as we go as well. One is hobby/personal posts. Next are credibility boosters. Then there's social success. There's how I case study photos. There are personal stories that are also copy. And then of course, you also want story posts and highlights on your Instagram. So come with me and let's check out some of the posts that I've made on my Instagram. By the way, my Instagram is at tyson.scales if you want to go and check out some of my other posts and get some inspiration. So example, photo of me with my rifle out just in the wilderness as well. So to every message, there's just two parts of it. Every magician does two things. One that the crowd can see and one behind the scenes. And it's the same with copywriting. There's an overt message and there's a covert message. The overt message in this photo is I'm just out and enjoying life with my gun. And covert message is I'm someone who likes the outdoors. I'm someone who's actually outside of his house and not just like a basement goblin. And I'm somebody who actually has hobbies as well. And the caption is kind of a joke. It just says, working on this new outreach method. What do you guys think so far? So as you can see, I'm not taking myself super seriously. It's just a small, short caption. And even something small like this can really help boost your account. Now, another problem is that a lot of people post one type of Instagram post, and that's all it is. I see so many people with like a bunch of cool pictures, but every single caption is just like 2 sentences. It's like, guys, have a variety. If you have 9 posts and every single post is a different sort of post, this is the best way. But if they're all just the exact same thing, why not even just leave one up there? Why create 9 of essentially the exact same thing? It's silly, okay? So you want different types. Next, here is a bigger one. So as you can see, I essentially posted a photo of me driving my car. And then there's also a testimonial at the bottom of how I blew up someone's email list. And they were getting tons of leads from it when they never got leads before. And the caption simply says this: "This has to be the best thing to wake up to, LOL. Client went from dead email list producing 0 leads to booking 10 high-ticket sales calls in 1 email. No tricks, no secret sauce, no wizardry, just some damn good copy." And you could do it too. Just keep improving. You'll be getting voice notes like this from your clients in no time. And that's it. That was the whole caption. Now, the reason why this caption works so well is because I'm using the angle of how I instead of how to. How to does not work nearly as well as how I. If I were to come on here and say, here's how to take your email list from dead to 10 clients per email or something like that, it's just going to be lame. Nobody cares. Nobody wants to know, because anybody could just go to ChatGPT and say, hey, write me a reel about how to do this, or write me a caption on how to do this. But instead, I'm using my own personal experience. And remember, I said covert message and overt message. The overt, which is the one that they're supposed to see, is essentially just me saying, oh, look at this awesome screenshot I got. Look at this awesome result I got from my client. But the covert, meaning the one that's kind of like behind the scenes, that message, reading between the lines, is essentially, I'm an absolute killer when it comes to email marketing. That's it. So not only am I showing them I know how to get results, but I'm also proving to them that I do get results for my clients. And this goes so much farther than just random how-to content. I can't even explain it. Okay, next, just a photo of me. I had some Canadian Tire money. I don't know what was going on in this picture, to be honest. It was a long time ago, but I posted it, right? And the caption says this: here's how much I got paid for my first copywriting deal. So this is a story post. A story can be about anything. Now I have multiple videos on my channel going over exactly how to create stories in copywriting. So if you're kind of fuzzy on how to do this, make sure you go there. But remember, the overt message, the one that they're supposed to see in this caption, is just a story about me beginning copywriting. But reading between the lines, what it's actually saying is, 1, I put experience over money because I took a small deal, as you're going to see here. And 2 is that I'm really good at writing stories because I wrote my own story and created it here. So let me show you. Here's how much I got paid for my first copywriting deal. For context, 38 emails written, 3 automations created inside ActiveCampaign, 1 landing page rewrite, 10,000 words, 1 email deliverability fix, and they were previously getting 1% opens, all for a grand total of, drumroll please, $600. And no, I'm not forgetting a 0, LOL. 3 months of blood, sweat, and tears for $600. And you're probably wondering, Tyson, what were you thinking accepting those slave wages? I was thinking what every aspiring copywriter thinks. If I pour my all into this one client, maybe they'll turn into a $3K per month retainer and I can quit my soul-crushing job. But when reality set in, I ended up coming to my senses and firing that client. 2 months later, I landed my first 4-figure deal, $2K for 8 emails. 1 month after that, I closed a $2K per month client and a $3K per month client in the same week. And my income only went up from there. Learning lessons: target the winners, know your worth, and always be closing. But I get it. Easier said than done, right? Gee, Tyson, thanks. You're saying I should close higher paying clients. What a profound idea. Sarcasm. But it's really not as complicated as people make it out to be. Make your outreach stand out, be a freaking wicked copywriter, and for goodness sake, follow up like crazy. All right, duty calls. I'm off to review some copy for my 40CI students. This is a story that's geared towards copywriting, but I could easily make it geared towards business owners. Remember, you have to keep who you're trying to attract in mind, or who you're making content for in mind. So, like I said, I already broke down exactly what the story actually does, but when a client comes through and they see that, wow, this guy actually made a really compelling story, I liked it, it had a message, and it also shows that I got multiple clients and that I'm a well-paid, successful copywriter. All of these things essentially just program their subconscious mind to be like, wow, this guy actually knows what he's doing. This is why I and my students are able to get all these inbound leads, clients actually reaching out to us and wanting to hire us as copywriters. And these are going to be the best types of clients you're ever going to close. All right, so just to recap, exactly what you're going to want on your Instagram for it to just be at least the bare minimum is 100 followers. This is super easy. You don't want 0 followers because then it's going to look like you're a brand new account. You're going to look like a spam bot. But 100 is a psychological number that, once you're above those little 3 figures, then it looks pretty normal. So you can do this easily just by following other people, commenting on their stuff. They're going to, by turn, follow you and comment on some of your stuff as well. So that's the first thing. Get at least 100 followers. Next is to make at least 9 posts, 9 different posts. Some of them are hobby posts. Some of them are just short captions. Some of them are funny captions. Some of them are so show off some of your results. And some of them are also just about some stories from your past. Next is please don't be cookie cutter. Don't be cookie cutter when it comes to creating your profile because it's going to bite you. You're just wasting your time because you're going to be posting, but these posts are going to be terrible because all the dudes who are outreaching to these clients, they're going to go to these profiles and see that they're all the same. And once they see they're all the same, they're just never going to hire you. Why would they hire you if they know that your stuff is the same as somebody else? Next is to make sure that you update your stories and highlights. When you get a win or you get a client saying, hey man, you did a great job, or I love this copy, or you're inside of your client's software and you show that you actually got them an awesome result, like super high open rate, make sure those things are actually on your Instagram story. And you can also put them on your highlights afterwards as well in a little bubble called results or client wins. Next is make sure you have a clear profile picture of your face. And of course, lastly, you always want to have a bio that describes exactly who you are and what you do. Now, for a couple of resources, remember my Instagram is @TysonScales. So if you'd like, you can go to my Instagram. You can also see what a whole bunch of other copywriters' Instagrams look like when you go to my IG roasting videos. And then you go down into the comments and see all the people commenting in there. Those are a bunch of copywriters. So if you want to see what most copywriters are doing and then understand exactly what to do differently and see what the competition looks like and see how weak they are. And if you want to know how to actually get clients on Instagram, I created a full 2-hour free outreach course that goes over absolutely everything. So everyone's if it ain't, of course, I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.